Hello, our ccFOUND friends and investors. This is Peter Michalak speaking here, your CEO. And as usual, I would like to ask you if you can hear me and see me correctly. Please comment in the chat. And in just a minute, we will start the presentation. In the meantime, I will try to share my screen with you. All right, you should see my screen share on the right hand. I'm waiting for your comments if you can hear me and see me. All right, it seems that everything is working correctly on my side. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and let's continue with the presentation. All right, let me start today with what can you expect from this presentation, from this webinar, managing expectations. I would like to first say, I don't want you guys to expect fireworks yet. Today, we are showcasing the beta version of ccFOUND, but this is still a closed beta. This is a simple basic platform right now, and it serves as a basis to build upon it. So this is not a completely finished product yet. This is just the basis foundation. So expect this meeting to be more of an investor's report for you rather than a product launch. And this presentation will mostly show you what we have achieved on a deeper level than user interface and design. Please remember this is still a startup. ccFOUND is just roughly 1 year old since the private sale. And what we have mostly achieved so far during the last year was building a strong development team during the pandemic, which was pretty hard knowing that there were no software developers for hire, as they were all taken into corporations and software houses. And we have managed to set up a well-oiled mechanism, by that I mean an organization, and prepared the technological layer, which is mostly non-visible, and I will try to show it to you today, but you won't see it on the design layer or the user interface yet. And this is important for scalable development in the future. So please remember when you listen to me today that we are here for a long haul. This is a marathon. We are building something that we want to exist 10 years into the future, and not just a 1 year speculation. So when we have this, once we have managed the expectations, let me just quickly look at the chat. I welcome you guys. Ziggy Lion, whose birthday is today. Let me give you a shout out. And hello, Zbigniew. Hello, Saneli Sive. Hello, Damian. Hello, Jawaba. And I can't read your name, but thanks for tuning in, and let's get back to the presentation. Okay, let's first sum up where we were in 2021. First, let's look at ccFOUND, the old version. Please remember we already had an alpha version before, and that's how it looked like. I am logged into right now, where I have some administration capabilities at the top panel. Then I have a banner panel below where I could hang some banners informing users, for example, what our manifesto was or how does this platform work. There was instructions here. On the English version, we have no banners. We just have these 4 layers with news, popular questions, newest questions, and categories. And that's how it looked like. When we went into a popular question, for example, KuCoin is a safe place to trade. There was a question, obviously, which could be upvoted, which could be subscribed, could be reported, edited by me as an administrator, could be translated into other languages. And also, I had answers here that were divided into these 2 columns, giving me a feeling that there was a palette of advice for me to choose from. So that's how it looked like. And there were, in fact, many more functionalities than we have currently on the beta version I will show you just in a moment. And this is because this platform was built by just one programmer with a tech lead and a designer. So it was roughly 3 to 4 people with mostly one main coder developing the platform. Then some development was done by 2 other coders, and then we have killed it. And that's because we have created a huge monolithic structure that was not serviceable by a new team of software developers. And that's how we have learned how to scale up and build big platforms. Just quickly going through this, here we see an inbox of content requiring acceptation from moderation. So we have also an inbox here giving me information about reported content. I see something different on English website. Let me quickly switch to the Polish one. Here you can see subscriptions, people subscribing, different things. We have notifications here, and you can see this is a pretty 90s design. When we have made the decision to redesign the website because it is a bit poor and it looks like the internet of 90s, it turned out that it's impossible to replace the designs because of the monolithic structure of these old version. You can also see that the logo here is an old version. Let me just switch to a version so you can see it better. You can see the logo right now on the left upper hand. You can see that we have changed the logo also with a bit different colors. So yeah, once again, on a bigger screen, you can see how it looked like just a moment ago. It's still available at old.ccFOUND.com. Sometimes you need to type it twice. And that's how the website looked some time ago when we started alpha testing it. All right, so we decided to redesign it. Just to show you that the designs may develop. There are many blog posts about old Facebook designs. Let's just quickly go through how Facebook developed in 2004. That's how Facebook looked like. Then this one was in 2005. That's how the profile looked roughly 16, 17 years ago, giving away information about your sex, year of birth, and what you are looking for example, dating. So many personal information pre-Rodo. Also, this is Mark Zuckerberg's profile in 2006, right? Giving away information of his in a relationship or what his beliefs are. And then we have 2007, and we slowly see that Facebook started to look like the Facebook we are used to today, right? Then 2009, this is beginning to look pretty familiar now, right? So that's how it slowly developed, and you can see that it took them several years from 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to build up on the original idea, which was a dating website. Okay, so knowing this, let's also look at the old team, which was just Łukasz, Adrian, Weronika, and Michał. So not a big team, and this wasn't enough to build a world-class service. And I will show you today how it developed. All right, so where are we in 2022? We have a new team, and this is our biggest achievement. That's how our team looks like now. We have CDO, we have a product owner, we have UX design department, we have front-end development department with the tech lead, Michał. We have backend development with tech lead, Paweł. And we have DevOps department. So we have 4 departments, 2 main managers, 2 tech leads, and roughly the whole team is about 12 people, from 11 to 13 people, something like this. So it's much bigger now, and the architecture also developed. When you will see the beta version in just a moment, you will notice that it's very simple right now. Many functionalities are yet to be added, and roughly what you will see is this. You will see a good-looking front end, better than the one I showed you just a moment ago. But you won't see integrations with decentralized solutions, with cloud databases, with Google Translate, integration with DeepL. You won't see thousands of components we have written. You won't see voting mechanism yet. You won't see search engine implementation, Elasticsearch. You won't see asset service. You won't see highly scalable architecture. You won't see layer 2 solution. You won't see payment mechanisms. You won't see also solutions coded in different languages. So it's even if it's much less functionalities in the moment, it's much more scalable right now. Not only better looking, but much scalable than the thing we had just a year ago. And that's one of our achievements. So I would like you first, as investors, to understand what we have achieved regarding the architecture. So right now, as a ccFOUND user, and this is what we have actually developed, we have created asset service. We have created a new front end, completely new, written in React and in the newest programming languages. We have created a completely new, rewritten API and backend connected with MySQL database and connected also with a layer 2 solution using interplanetary file system, IPFS, that will allow users on ccFOUND to use found coins, not knowing anything about blockchain or cryptocurrencies. So people on ccFOUND will be able to hold found coins, receive tokens without any transaction fees. And if you are using decentralized finance, in short DeFi, you know that no transaction fees is rarely there. So it will be on ccFOUND. We are also integrated with blockchain service. We have written a blockchain service to connect to blockchains. We also have a translation service connected to DeepL and Google Translate, and will soon have for first languages translation, where also we had to develop a mechanism of what to translate, for example, knowing that the translation costs would be very high and grow into tens of thousands of dollars. And to mitigate this risk, we have designed a process that you will only be translated when you enter a question, for example. So the questions will be translated first, and then, for example, if a question gets translated from Polish to French and you are in France, you enter into a question translated from Polish. Only if you enter the answers get translated into French real time, and they are not translated by default in the beginning. And this way we save money in the first trials of the service. And also I told you about the integration with search engine Elasticsearch. I didn't even know before that this is a microservice to be created. I thought a search engine is something very simple. You just open a web platform and you have a search engine. But this is, again, a technological decision that had to be made. We had to choose an engine. We had to develop this engine. We had to decide how it should work, knowing that all the things will be translated into other languages and so forth. So there were many technological decisions to be made when creating ccFOUND here, of which I was not yet aware a year ago. And that's where I have to give big thanks to Grzegorz, our CTO, and the whole team for working this to put my vision into reality, into the technological reality. All right, so that's where we are technology-wise. And now let's see the new platform with some discussion examples. And I will also try to explain the difference between questions and answers platform like Quora and problem solution platforms like ccFOUND, which is the first of its kind. So Polygon versus Ethereum. Let me just have a quick look on the comments, if you are with me, guys. Okay, thank you for staying with me. Getting back to the presentation, let's have a look on the English version. Here I have asked a question that I want to build my decentralized application, but I am concerned about huge transaction costs on the Ethereum network. And I ask, do you recommend any layer 2 solutions to help reduce these costs? And Grzegorz, our CTO, responded, recently, I participated in creating solutions on Binance Smart Chain network, precisely in order to avoid the costs of the Ethereum network. Unfortunately, this is associated with costs in other areas, such as the need to use non-Ethereum decentralized exchanges, low decentralization of the Binance Smart Chain network with only 21 validators, and the lack of refined wallets. That means cooperation between Ledger and MetaMask, and the BSC network is currently only for advanced users. Recently, I came across the Polygon network and tested it. It turned out that the second layer to Ethereum basically no longer needs its first layer. Currently, Ethereum network needs Polygon, not the other way around. Polygon sticker is Matic, and here he goes into explaining how Polygon works, what its architecture is, and why is it more scalable than Ethereum. And actually, you can use Polygon to build your decentralized application without using Ethereum at all, and it may be even a better solution than Binance Smart Chain we have originally used for ccFOUND's Found coin. So we see just one question and one answer here. But what you can also note is that this question is a problem, and Grzegorz provides me with a solution. And this is a very important discernment here, where, for example, Grzegorz originally wrote this answer himself, asking a question to himself that sounded like this. Does Polygon need Ethereum? Does Polygon need Ethereum? And note here that does Polygon need Ethereum is just a curiosity bait question. This is not a problem question. This is a curio question that could be asked on Quora, right? So when you enter Quora, for example, you have many curio questions here. For example, are the bridges in Europe in as bad shape as the ones in the USA, for example? Or which simple event completely changed a sport's history? So this question does not change your life. This question is not your problem. This question is not something that helps you in anything. Neither this one is. Actually, the first two ones I have briefly scrolled through, they are problematic questions, like what's your best advice for someone that wants to be better at recognizing emotions? That's a good problem question, as is what are the best places to hire remote software developers? That's okay. Although this one is promoted, this is an advertisement, and it's not clearly visible that this is an advertisement. However, we can see that if you use Quora, most questions, like this one also, what's the boldest hit anyone has ever made in a supermarket, right? These questions are mostly curio, and this question is mostly a problem to be solved. And what ccFOUND strives to be is not a questions and answers website, and that's the main difference, but it will be headed into becoming a problem solution website, because solving problems means generating knowledge. So what Quora is generating is information, and what ccFOUND will generate is knowledge. That's the difference between knowledge and information. Knowledge is something applicable. Knowledge is know-how. Knowledge is changing your life. And of course, we also will have some curio questions, but it will be more problems than curios. So that's one example. Other example will be a showcase of investing in crypto. Let me just open it. Does investing in crypto still make sense? David asks whether or not he should still invest. I'm afraid that the bull market has ended and want to sell my coins. but I don't know yet what to put my money into. So this is again a question for advice, not a curio question, not an academical question of someone interested in cryptocurrencies, but this is a question of a person that has a real problem and need advice. And again, it generates knowledge, where Agata has advice from one perspective. She first says, I'm not going to give you investment advice, but then she actually gives some advice. She's talking about economy. She's asking, where do you want to get into if not crypto? What do you mean by the bull market has ended? She's asking some good questions to consider when investing your capital. Then Christian is giving another advice, like, for example, talking about real estate and the bubble is going to burst anytime, maybe. So then we have Maurice, who is also talking about short-term, long-term, for example. David is giving a completely different perspective again, and Karol a different one too. So what we have here is several different perspectives with advice from different people. We have 5 answers, and when you have a problem, getting 5 different answers, 5 different perspectives, different advice on any given problem is always eye-opening. Whether or not the advice is of a higher quality or a lower quality, it always opens your eyes to different perspectives, and that's what matters most. All right, I hope you are with me, and I will try to answer your questions in the end. So, third example is real estate. Let's have a look at this one, where again we have a problem question. Is now a good time to buy an apartment, or should I wait? This could be even more personal. For example, saying, is now a good time for me to buy an apartment in Warsaw Mokotów, which is a place in Warsaw, or should I wait? And knowing that this was asked on 1st February 2022, you now know that this is a time-sensitive personal question. And again, the advice may be either more personal or less personal. Here the question is very vague. They don't know whether or not I live in Warsaw or maybe New York City or maybe a small city somewhere in Belarus, right? So this is a very vague advice here from David and Agata. But imagine I could also ask a more personal question, and we can have less and more personal and less and more time-sensitive questions on ccFOUND, and we will have systems that will manage the time-sensitive ones. For example, these questions will slowly drop in value, and the evergreen ones will stay in the catalog of questions forever. Or maybe the time-sensitive people questions will get pinged or notified that they can be changed into evergreen ones, and so forth. We will have different systems of managing different types of questions here. And that's important discernment, which Quora doesn't have and will probably never have. Remember, our vision is to build a huge knowledge database with the most popular questions at the top, regardless of which category you go into. And right now we have categories of cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, stock exchange, and other investment topics. But very, very soon we will add here medicine, law, economy, and other completely different topics, even like refurnishing your flat, right? Everything will be here. This will be a very wide portal with personal advice on any topic you want, and aggregating knowledge on any topic you go into, with the most popular things on the top. And you will be able to go into unanswered, for example, into time-sensitive questions, into evergreen questions, into questions with only one answer, where you can compete with other people who give advice, and so forth. All right, so that's how it works right now. We also have this featured banner on the right, where you can go into welcome and instruction, posts, or anti-censorship solution we have developed. You can read more here. about the interplanetary file system and how we will use it to be for our content on ccFOUND to be unbannable, to be undeletable from by any country anywhere in the future. Like the only thing that will be possible to be done to the content on ccFOUND is tagging it as hidden, as inappropriate, as illegal, for example. But this content will still stay and be available on the interplanetary file system. So, for example, if anyone would like us to delete it from IPFS, it will be impossible because IPFS is not ours. This is just a third-party service, and there is not even this third party available anywhere because this is a peer-to-peer decentralized network of computers that are used to store information, and it will be in the near future our main database. So this is our anti-censorship solution. You can read more here when you click through this this banner. And that's basically all we currently have, and that is available on the beta version. You can't even go into any categories yet. All you can see here is signing up for the newsletter. And that's on purpose because this is a closed beta. And we just want you today to see the front end, to see what our improvements were in the technology, and to sign up for the beta tests that will be starting in just a week time. But I will get into it in a moment. So you now see what's the difference between questions and answers and problem solution platform. And this is an obvious difference versus how current internet works and forums work, where on the forum you can also ask a question, but this is much more chaotic and will not allow you to access people from different countries using translations to different languages, where content may be moderated very easily, deleted. There will be no interplanetary file system, where forums are very chaotic. And most of all, forums are just a stream of thought where one person may ask a question, then you have many comments that are not improving your situation, that could be hidden, very well hidden, deleted. You get hate. And all of this will be probably hidden on ccFOUND, will be tagged as inappropriate content. And what you will receive in the end is just answers to your questions. And that's where we are headed. That's the vision of ccFOUND. All right, so that's where we are right now. And that's where we are headed very, very soon. Let's first compare the new versus old table. Even though the new ccFOUND does not yet allow you to register or log in, and it will be opened next week to just a select group of beta testers, we can see that many more things are very close to be finished. With search engine finished, judicial system practically developed with 2 levels, judicial layers, with obviously user panel and administration panel, but also integration with MetaMask, where you will be able to log in with a Web 3.0 wallet, also translating content into 4 languages, reputation system and NFT awards, paid questions with layer 2 integration. You will be able to ask different types of paid questions and given different types of rewards. Also, in the future, 4 layers of judicial system for moderation, for decentralized moderation purposes, and also an anti-censorship solution. Also, personal content tags, which I will get into in just a moment, uploading content to IPFS, and the marketplace of online courses and ebooks, which is our biggest goal for this year, because this year we need to start monetizing ccFOUND while also advertising it to reach tens of thousands of users. That's our goal for this year. At least in the tables shown in white paper, our goal is 80,000 users this year. So far, we have registered 20,000 users, but not on the ccFOUND platform, obviously, but in our ICO process and on our newsletter. Obviously, also not all of them will register on the platform. However, advertising the platform will be much easier than advertising the ICO. And that's because you are actually prohibited from advertising ICOs currently on most ad networks. For example, Facebook is straight out banning us for being an ICO. Google also is banning us. And when we are advertising a platform, a portal, it will be very easy to advertise it. So I'm pretty optimistic about reaching this roughly 80,000 users this year, but we need to move very fast. All right, so that's where we are functionality-wise, or where we will be pretty soon. This is also our roadmap, which I would like to show you. I have seen some questions in just a moment ago, so this answers your question. February 9th, so just in a week, we will have limited new user registration, user login in with MetaMask, adding content and upvoting content. And also in progress will be the basic user panel. So note, when you get invited into the beta tests, actually there will be no user panel, and please accept this limitation. Also, the search engine is in a very alpha state yet, and translation into 4 languages will be still yet to be implemented, in progress. February 21st is another milestone with basic reputation system and NFT awards, which should be ready by then. Paid questions with layer 2 integration is also pretty much ready, but yet has to be implemented in the user interface. So we shouldn't have problems here. This is also required by Komisja Nadzoru Finansowego, which is our financial authority in Poland. So we need to prioritize this. And also we will have the first edition of our search engine ready. And community moderation via voting, which is another idea of mine, where no questions and answers will be published on ccFOUND before first getting accepted by the community. This is something we actually already had in the alpha version of ccFOUND. Also, administration panel in the alpha version will be in progress, and user panel with two-factor authentication, optimized performance, notifications, and subscriptions. March 7th will be the rollout of judicial system in the most simple way of just 2 levels. The first moderation level and the 4th level, where you just have the moderator and the super administrator, which is me, probably, and my closest team. This will slowly develop into 4-level judicial system, as you already know, which will be rolled out on March 21st. We will have the first version of administration panel and user panel also on March 7th. Also, we will have the marketplace in progress with technical preparation, front-end and back-end in the alpha version, subscribing users, questions, and categories. So this is also important. So you will be able to not only subscribe to a question, but also subscribe to an user that you like and that you want to be your expert, and also subscribing categories. All right, and March 21st, we should be ready with the marketplace, and 2 first products that will be available to sell are online courses and ebooks. Also uploading content to IPFS and personal content tags, which are very important again, and I will tell you about them in just a moment. So this is anti-censorship, and the other one is censorship, but in a good way. That will help us to manage the quality of the communication on ccFOUND, the quality of content. So that's our plan for this quarter, and please keep your fingers crossed. And I can't yet tell you when the beta will be opened to the wider public. We will probably open it depending on the feedback we receive from you. All right, so let's have a look also at the user interfaces we are preparing right now. This is how the login into your account will look like in just a moment. All right. You can also note that you can log into with Google, Facebook, Apple, or MetaMask here. Then the search engine view, which looks like this. Then we have a paywall, allowing people to earn money on answers that are longer and may actually be unlocked for found coins. Then we have adding a question view here with the question itself, then the explanation, which is visible for all users or just for registered users. You can also add media here, add a category and add tags, and also mark it as a paid question, save it as a draft, or just publish it. And let's see how the paid question would look like. That's the paid question, where you can decide who will get the award, and there are several options, whether this is, for example, the best answer or everybody, or people who have most upvotes get the most awards, for example. You set the amount of found coins you are offering for the winner of the contest, and you have also the duration of the contest here. Then we have a reputation system with ranking, which looks like this, with the leaderboard and the most appreciated users list. Afterwards, we have user panel, which will look like this. And we have the content voting panel, where you will be able to decide whether or not a question or an answer should be accepted into ccFOUND at all. And last but not least, we have the judicial system, where you will be allowed to appeal to the decision made by someone else, for example, to report your content, to delete your content, or anything like this. So as I said, content will be basically undeletable from ccFOUND, meaning undeletable from IPFS. However, it may be hidden from ccFOUND as a service that reads the IPFS database. So you will be able to appeal to the decision made by a judge, and it will be up to 4 layers in the future. All right, so that's how ccFOUND will look like this year, and pretty soon, maybe in the next few months. And I would also like to tell you guys what we have learned in this process. I understand that, and I also would like ccFOUND to be more right now than it is. This is a very basic platform right now, and it still has to be developed, but much has been done on the technological layers and also regarding the team. So I would like to present to you how much have we moved forward regarding our organization. Okay, so what we have learned is that ccFOUND is a highly complicated multi-dimensional platform that needs a blockchain-oriented CDO. After I have developed the alpha version at first, well, I was a small business owner for 16 years, and I thought that 1, 2, or 3 software developers is enough to create a platform like ccFOUND. Quickly, I found out that this was a mistake, although it took me a few months, and we had hired several developers, like I explained in the beginning, that were unable to develop the alpha version we have created. It was a flying spaghetti monster that was a monolithic structure and actually was not serviceable by new developers we have hired. You actually need a chief technical officer that knows blockchain services to create something as big as ccFOUND. ccFOUND is really a very big platform. And what I thought is a technical specification in the beginning, actually is just a mere draft of a vision. That's my takeaway. I have created technical specifications for ccFOUND 2 years ago, but I found out that this is not enough. Still, a blockchain CTO has to test drive possible approaches to decentralize every microservice we have. For example, I haven't made a decision what to use for our search engine. This decision needed to be made by the CTO, and in order to make this decision, he had to test different search engines. And there are many different services for search engine to be tested. and it takes several weeks to test different technologies. And that's also regarding IPFS. This was again how to decentralize, how to develop the content onto a decentralized platform so we are censor proof. This was again a decision where Grzegorz had to test different platforms and make a decision that IPFS is the best one for us, and to come up with a solution of how to use IPFS for sharing the knowledge, for putting information out there. This was actually a very hard decision, and we need to appreciate this. Also, even with a refined hiring process, you get mismatched hires when scaling up quickly. What I found out is when we have generated $1.3 million from the private sale at the end of 2020, I thought that I will just build a management board, and in 3 months we will start creating ccFOUND, and in another 3 months we will be ready to launch the finished product. It isn't so quick. It turns out, in order to build a management board, you need 3 to 6 months, it turns out. And also, we have hired many people, of whom some we had to let go. So not all of the people were good hires. We have hired 25 people, and it is normal that some of them will not fit the structure, will not fit the organizational culture, even if they were very nice. And if we had good contact during the recruitment process. So there were some turbulent times also, but we ended up with a team that I have showed you before when I spoke about at least the technical team. And this is just half of the company. We have also built a very strong administration team, and also the whole marketing team was replaced during the last months. And we have completely new people right now working on our marketing. You can also see the difference in the communications. So that's another takeaway. Next one is tech leads leading smaller development teams help solve many technical problems. But you also need time to select best candidates for tech lead position, and you need time to teach tech leads how to communicate as no longer developers but leaders, because tech leads before were developers, and developers are people who live with their computers and not always know how to communicate with people. So that's another thing we needed to teach them, of how to lead other people and not only lead the code. Also, a product owner sitting between the CEO and development team is a very important person that deconstructs vision into tasks and priorities. This is again a very well organized machine we have created here, where typically in a technological startup you have a CEO that is just doing the selling and is doing meetings with VCs and is doing the product development and is doing everything. And the CEO is working 14 hours a day. And ccFOUND is different. We are actually much more organized as a startup, with me being an experienced manager with 16 years of experience, but still making mistakes and learning from them. And this is one important takeaway, with great thanks to Karol, our product owner, who became also a co-founder of ccFOUND. And Karol is sitting between my vision that I have developed and between software developers, cutting down this vision into little tasks so that they know exactly what to do. And the smaller the tasks, the more predictable deadlines become. If you have tasks like integrate a search engine into ccFOUND, this is a task that may take 2 weeks or 2 months or 2 years. You don't really know. But when you cut these little tasks, when you cut search engine into many little different tasks, like develop a small function for the search engine, then it becomes much more manageable. And that's what product owner does. Software developers also need a clear set of organizational rules and procedures, and that's what Karol with Grzegorz and Victoria and with me are working on, so that we have a very clear set of rules, like a good corporation, so that people know how they are managed, what we expect from them, how they should work, and how the tasks are managed, and so forth. And there is also a huge difference between a monolith service built by one person and a multi-dimensional platform that is serviceable by a team. I already explained this to you several times. Again, what we have built right now is a platform cut into several layers, where each and every one of these people know what to do. And it was just impossible to develop the alpha version we had a year ago. And also, you need to, when building something like ccFOUND, you need to first build a team, and then the team builds a platform. One thing that we have learned to understand is that you can't spend the money instantly. And again, when after a private sale I have generated $1.3 million from our investors, it wasn't so simple as that I will just hire the management board in a month, then I will hire developers in the second month. It's not so easy. Building a team actually takes a year. Building a team takes a year rather than a month. And only people that have 20+ person companies understand this. Also, building software never stops. It's an ongoing process to find the market fit. It's not a one-time project. So it's not like when I showed you this table of architecture, of where we are headed, and the new old table. It doesn't work like we will develop the administration panel and the work is finished. It's not like we will create the judicial system and the work is finished. The work will be never finished, probably, and we will get feedback from you, and we will have to redevelop and redevelop and redesign again. And that's also an important thing. And who knows, maybe we will even have to pivot to find a product market timing fit. So we need to understand this, and we need a financial buffer for this. And I will manage so the company stays safe regarding also the financials. But please give us time, and don't be hasty, because it's easy to make mistakes in the process. All right, so what next for you before I go into the questions and answers section? I would like to invite you guys today to sign up for the beta version. Benefits for you becoming a beta tester is that you will build your presence on ccFOUND before everybody else. You will also start earning reputation points before everybody else. You will receive a badge NFT visible by your name, showcasing your contribution in the future. So everybody in 5 years' time, for example, will look at ccFOUND and will see that you have been from the beginning. You have been a beta tester. You are someone important in this community. You have a chance to become a moderator, administration, etc. You have close contact with development team and become a ccFOUND insider, or a VIP if you prefer. You have real impact on how ccFOUND will look and work in the future. And this may be important. This is also important for us because we want to know what you expect. And our expectations from you are that you will use the platform as a normal user and start generating high-quality content. That you will ask problem-oriented questions, and the more personal questions, the better. And you will solve other people's problems by answering questions in an engaged manner, sharing personal experiences. We hope that you will get back with feedback and bug reports, because your feedback is important for us. And soon you will be able to tag content, for example, regarding categories, where does the content fit into which categories. You will be able to tag questions, whether they are time sensitive or evergreen, whether they are universal or very personal. So in the future, user will be able to hide, for example, universal questions or hide very personal ones. We will maybe automatically hide time-sensitive questions after several weeks, and while notifying users beforehand that the question can be updated. Also, answers can be tagged as illegal content or little value comment. So this won't change into a typical forum or Facebook group, right, where people are writing unimportant comments. We want to hide these things, or at least tag them and have the possibility to hide them, so that what you have on ccFOUND is just very high value answers. And soon you will be able to correct translations on the platform, which is also very important, or also authorize the corrections made by other people. Our rollout plan goes like this. We will start inviting chosen applicants, starting with 10-20 people and scaling up slowly. We will have up to 50 users next, then maybe 100, then 200, and so forth. We will scale up slowly because we don't want to get bogged down with too much communication and too much feedback either. Registration to the beta tests closes at 9th February at midnight Central Eastern Time, Central Europe time. You will receive an email with invitation when we are ready and if we have chosen your application. And if you don't receive an email, it means we have not yet chosen you, and please wait patiently. You will be required to join a closed Telegram or Discord group to be announced. So please read email communication from us after you apply for the beta. And please also use the Telegram or Discord group, because that's where the communication regarding feedback, bug reports should probably take place. And now I can ask you to sign up for the beta version. I will paste the link. It's just a Google form, a very simple one, that I would like you to go through with your email address, a question of how many hours per week can you give up for usability testing, what you expect from working with ccFOUND, and what value do you think you can contribute to ccFOUND. Please use 2 to 3 sentences in each of these questions to show us how you think and help us make a wise decision of who to invite first. And guys, that would be it. I hope you liked the presentation. I will share the form right now in the comment section, in the chat section. So that's the link. You can find it in chat. And let's focus on me right now, and I will answer your questions, going from the newest ones. Sudhakar asks that there are just 9 people watching, and I am actually not not surprised, because we have not pushed this live very much, and also our English-speaking community is not as strong as the Polish community yet. But remember about the automatic translations that will allow us to scale from Polish community into each and every other community. So also this video will be promoted later to interested parties. I thought of this video as mostly an investment report and didn't want to focus so much on promoting it yet. Also, yeah. There was a question of the security of smart contract, and our team has answered that we are audited by Certic, which is linked to on our website, ccfound.com. Thank you, Damian, for kind comments. I won't read this since this is in Polish, but thank you. Please remember this video is online, and you can share this video with other investors also. There is a very nice question of, are we going to have ccFOUND app for mobile? Yes, we will. We will develop this kind of application, obviously. Sorry of not putting this into our plans. We have yet to decide when to do this. All right, so when we will be ready with the final version? Probably never, because as I explained, ccFOUND will always evolve. So I would rather reiterate this question of when the beta version will be opened. And I have also said that I am not sure, but it may be 1-2 months. I hope as soon as possible, because we need to generate 80,000 subscribed users this year. But I suppose it will take roughly several weeks. All right. I think these are all questions, mostly from Sudhakar, and that's thanks to how little people started watching this live today. Right now we have just 25 people, but I hope more of you, or more of our investors, will watch this later. And if you are, I'm sending kudos to you. Thanks for investing in ccFOUND, and I hope you will keep your fingers crossed for us, and also invest in the upcoming rounds. We are just 6 rounds into the end of the ICO. Please remember that each and every round gives you airdrops and lowers your average entry cost, thus hiring your ROI in the future. So it's better to have an average purchase cost of 3 cents than 5 cents, right? So the sooner you invest, the greater your benefit and ROI in the future. That's one thing for sure. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for staying with me. And I hope you guys will share the good knowledge, the good information with other investors. Also, when you join ccFOUND, when you log into the investment panel, the ICO panel, you can generate your reference link. And there was one important change we have made recently. Just let me reiterate it, because you may have not read about it yet. So right now, the best investors get plus 10% commission in found coins. So not only you get 10% of commission in the chosen currency, you get additional 10% in found coins if you are one of the best investors and best partners. I mean, sorry, not investors, but partners. So you can earn of up to 20% commission. And also people who register from your affiliate link, from your ref link, these people get an additional 5% bonus to their investment. So this is a nice way to share with your friends if they are not yet registered, if they are not yet investing in ccFOUND. You can provide additional value to them of 5% bonus to their investment. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Take care. I wish you a nice day, and see you in the next live and future emails. Cheers.